What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Shonen Showdown. I'm your host, Robinson. To the right of me is
Scott. Let's get it.
Today we're going to be jumping right into some Black Clover. This arc just ended with the word Soul Devil. We want to talk about the top 3 most powerful characters in Black Clover right now. Right now is a perfect time to do it. So keep it locked. All right, Scotty. The way we're going to start this off is we're going to go from the strongest and then work our way down to the third most powerful. So sitting at number 1, who are you going to take?
Number 1 strongest, Black Clover, as of right now. I mean, there's a bunch of different people you can pick.
There is.
You know, you got reincarnated Licht. You got Lumiere, the first Wizard King. You got Yuno, which we don't really, I mean, I know y'all manga people know what Yuno is, but please don't spoil it in the comments. We're just doing anime only. So we didn't figure that out yet. You also have...
there's many characters.
You know, the devil.
Right.
You know, mad strong. But for number 1 most powerful, honestly...
What? You struggling?
Yeah, this is a hard debate, man. Because there's someone I want to pick, but it's like, I can't pick.
Listen, the number 1 should be concrete.
It's not that concrete as you make it seem, but you go. I got number 2.
What do you mean? This is the first time I've ever seen you this disheveled.
Because I have a pick, but it's like, I don't know if that's like. Nah,
say it with your chest. What? Who do you have?
It's probably what? What do you got?
All right, I'll take the reins from here since he's not too sure. I already know who it is. All right, the number 1 most powerful character in Black Clover right now is none other than the word Soul Devil. Absolutely unstoppable. The man fought. What do you mean you don't know about that? First of all, let's talk about the people that were in battle with him. He had Licht, he had Lumiere, he had Yami, you had Yuno, you had Asta, you had Dark Elf Patri, you had... I mean, what more assistance do you need on top of assistance?
That was really because they didn't know how to deal with him. If you would have taken it in terms of a round 2, and you would have all of them go up against him right now with the knowledge they have now, I feel like they could be able to beat him with a lot less people.
Scotty, hold on. The man can move his heart around. The only way you can destroy him is by hitting his heart. Right. He has the ability to move his heart around. Right. He has the ability to regenerate. He has word soul magic, which you can make a case is probably the most overpowered magic in the series.
I mean,
because he can summon things from the demon dimension and use it, which can absorb magic. So the only people that can really counter him are those that have either dark magic or anti-magic. So we know this, right? Like, I just think that the word Soul Devil has shown that,
or those that have magic that's been affected by magic from the other world, which can then damage.
Well, forbidden, magic. Yes. Well, yeah. So there's 3 ways to counter him. But how consistent are those? Everything that was going on was pretty much situational, except for Asta. So the word Soul Devil, I mean, the man can literally say, "Come here," and teleport you right next to him. The man can say, "Get away." The man can summon swords. Like, I just feel like there's not really much you can really do against word soul magic. It's super, super powerful, super, super OP. And they had to bring in Licht, they had to bring in Lumiere, they had to power up Asta and Yuno and put in Yami, and Yami used Matter Zone for the first time. I mean, you're talking about elite magic knights, elite abilities, and still they all had to team up together and do combos and coordinated attacks just to pressure him. Like, come on, man. It's obvious. He's number 1.
I mean, in addition to the hacks that is word soul magic, I mean, we've only seen it used in a couple different scenarios. I mean, in terms of the potential of word soul magic, I feel like he could potentially be, what you're saying, the most powerful character in Black Clover. But given that we only saw 3 or 4 moves, he's got the Rain of Swords, he's got reverse, he's got. He can move his heart around. There's limitations to it. There's opportunities where he can be caught. And we've seen that in actually the arc.
Right. In a frontal attack with 7+ out people working together to take him down. There's nobody in that situation right there that would be able to take down the Word Soul Devil 1v1. Not one person. I can't think of one character in Black Clover that would be able to defeat the Word Soul Devil in a 1v1. He's number 1, automatically.
I don't know about automatic. I mean, you make a good case, but I don't know. I would argue that. Shit, damn. You know what?
Come on.
I want to say, because there's a bunch of different people
come to the good side
that can actually destroy the demon. But you're right, in terms of a 1v1, without the knowledge, say it's not a round 2, say it's a round 1, right? And we replay the arc, and we have the demon going against all of them 1v1. Mm-hmm. I don't think any of them can take him by themselves for that first round. If it was a round 2, you know, and they know his attacks and they know that he can move his heart around, I could give it to a couple different people. You know, there's Yuno, which can using his Zephyr Sword, he can absorb the magic and the mana that's in the air, in the environment around him, and incorporate it into the sword, and use that to attack. So that would be able to damage the demon. There's Asta, which, you know, if he had, you know, all of his stamina and a fully powered, you know, demon dweller sword that he brought up, I could see him putting up a good fight, if not destroying him.
Right.
There's Yami, which we know dark magic can damage the demon also. But I think you're right. In terms of a 1v1,
he's number 1.
You know, first round, I think I'm going to have to agree with you.
Yes. Come to the good side.
I don't see how they're going to be able to handle him by themselves necessarily.
It's automatic. It's automatic.
It's such a cheese character. I hate all those characters that it's like, oh, I could just win just because I could say win. And his power is literally word soul.
That's
what I'm saying. Writer of the anime. Like, I hate those characters.
It is what it is.
I gotta agree with
it is what it is. Come on over. So number 2, who you taking now?
Number 2?
Yeah.
Number 2, I'm gonna go with Yuno. The Wizard King Yuno.
Bye, guys.
And number 2. That's who I'm going with.
What?
For the one reason that I said just before.
Hold on. Guys, let's pause this. You said Yuno.
I'm going with Yuno, yeah.
While Licht was still on the board?
I know. Well aware.
Julius is still on the board? Yami's still on the board? Asta still on the board? I mean. All
right, here's the explanation.
What?
The reason why I'm putting Yuno over Julius is because Julius was clapped by Elf Patry, right? We know that. Now that we've seen Elf Patry get dark elf powers,
Julius was in a bad situation.
Able to clap Elf Patry, even though he had dark elf powers, like I don't see.
He was in a bad situation.
They both fought Elf Patry, and we saw Yuno do a way better job. So
Julius had to protect the people of Clover Kingdom. That's the only reason why the man did.
Like you said before, it's all coincidental. We don't know for sure if it was just a 1v1, you know, completely even playing ground. But from what we saw, because of that,
Yuno is number 2.
And we've seen the episode. We know Julius is still alive, obviously, but he did still lose the fight. All right, because of that, I'm putting Yuno above Julius. I'm also putting him.
Oh wow!
I'm also putting him above.
Wow.
Licht.
Wow, you're putting Yuno over Licht. Yeah. Hey, Julius.
Because of his potential, because of his ability to absorb the mana in the environment and incorporate that into his own spells. We've only seen that in one spell so far.
You're mad.
Which is the Zephyr Sword. But I'm thinking of what spells he could create in the future using the mana around him. He could potentially use everyone's magic against them. Potentially.
You're crazy.
Because of that, I'm going to put him at number 2.
You're absolutely crazy. The number 2 most powerful character in Black Clover is none other than Licht. Yuno has no business being in this spot. I don't know what you were on. Clearly, sword magic is Licht's like best ability, and he makes sure that when he uses it at the fastest that we really have ever seen. Licht moves faster than everybody. Manazone, or even his ability to use and read ki is just crazy, right? At the same time, the man has an ultimate attack where he can absorb all the surrounding. He basically has a spirit bomb sword, if we want to call it for what it is. He can absorb all the other elves' mana that are surrounding him, and use an ultimate attack that almost took out the Word Soul Devil in one blow. So we know Licht is super, super powerful. We know he has the ability to absorb mana from, neighboring elves and things of that nature. He can also attack, mana from the demon dimension because of, the situation where he was able to absorb that forbidden magic that Lumiere used to take him out. So we know he has that counter as well. Licht, it just blows Yuno out of the water. I don't know how Yuno made this conversation.
Out of the water.
He's a way better fighter. He's way more skilled.
First of all,
Yuno and Asta watched Licht in awe, and they were like, "Wow, all right, this dude is next level." I mean, let's just call it for what it is.
Don't be trashing Yuno right now, because we both. I'm not trashing Yuno, but in the first fight where they both fought for the first time, Licht and Yuno, we know that Yuno was able to pull off a move that Licht had never even experienced before. He was able to catch him off guard. The pretty much leader of the elves reincarnated. He's able to catch him off guard. He's basically a child, doesn't even have the full extent of his grimoire yet. Like,
I have one point that's gonna shut this whole thing down.
Okay.
Licht fought Asta and Yuno while his power was still sealed. He wasn't even awake yet.
But that wasn't Yuno or Asta's full power either.
He wasn't even awake yet.
That wasn't their full power either. But neither of them were at full power.
But he fought them both at the same time.
Yeah.
In a weaker state.
I agree.
It was Nero. It was Nero actually, actually being seconded now, coming through and unlocking the seal, releasing the seal on Licht to actually wake him up, and Licht was like, "Okay, now let's get busy." Yeah. So him fighting Asta and Yuno at the same time,
but his power even fully awakened, he was not strong enough to take on the demon. Who did we see? We saw Yuno up there, we saw Asta up there, and then Yami, in the cut, pulling through for the support class. The one and only time he's gonna be doing that. But I didn't see. Okay, I'm fully awakened now. I'm gonna go. Nah, I didn't see that in that fight. So
you didn't see the man.
He was helping in the fight, but he was not taking the reins.
It was because of Licht that people knew about. They found out about the Word Soul Demon's heart and the situation and how they can tackle him. Because he eradicated the demon to the point where the only thing that was left was the heart, right? But the Word Soul Demon can regenerate from his heart alone. He doesn't need any part of his body other than his heart. So it was because of Licht that we were able to find that out. Remember, Licht was the one that exposed that that weakness that the Word Soul Demon had. So we know this. Asta and Yuno would not have ascended to that position that they were at if it were not for Licht coming through and putting pressure onto the Word Soul Demon better than even Lumiere did, in my opinion. So that's why he sits in number 2. But let's go on ahead to number 3, because this is a lot of blasphemy going on. That's crazy. You put Yuno over Licht. I don't know. I don't know.
Who you
gonna say?
I'm really feeling Yuno.
Who you gonna say at 3 now? You're probably gonna say
number 3. Number 3 is mad hard. That was first of all, that was your pick. I was thinking more of a Noelle. I'm not even. Come on. Noelle's pretty beast though, but nah. She's not even.
Please.
All right. Number 3, realistically, number 3 most powerful in Black Clover. We're going with the demon number 1. Obviously number 2.
Crazy.
Number 3 for me, it was between a couple different people. It was between Asta and Lumiere, to be honest. And right now, I think I'm gonna go with you know what? I'm gonna go with. Oh man!
Wow, this is what?
I'm gonna go with my boy Asta.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with my boy Asta.
Okay.
The reason that I thought it was hard was because when we saw Lumiere fight, we know he fought Licht in demon form in the past 500 years ago by himself pretty much. Sekirei was helping him, but not that much. And we also know that after the end of that fight, Sekirei sealed him away in the stone so that he would be ready to fight when the demon was reincarnated and came back. They didn't say this in the show. I don't know if they say this in the manga, but I'm assuming that when she sealed him away, that was in his weakened state. Like when he said, after the whole demon fight was over, he said, "I used the last bit of magic I had left in that fight." I can't be sealed away anymore. It's time for me to move on to the next world, right? So I'm taking that, and I'm assuming that when she sealed him away at like 5% of his actual power. That's what I'm assuming. I don't know that for a fact, but that's one of the reasons why I wanted to put him at number 3. I don't know that for a fact, so I'm gonna go with Asta. Asta being, his anti-magic, possibly one of the strongest types of magic in the show.
Exactly.
He has awakened more of his demon strength, and he's able to use it more.
Black Divider sword.
We also have, whereas before he was able to use, the Black Asta form twice in one day. Now we know that if he has Sekre around him or any other health-oriented Magic Knight that can just heal him up or give him a little painkiller boost, Sensu Bean, in the second he can activate it again, right? So the potential is through the roof compared to what he was maybe 5 episodes ago, right? So that's why I'm gonna go with Asta, because he's really a beast. He's unlocking more and more of his demon powers. I can't wait to see what he does next.
I honestly, I completely agree. Asta is the 3rd most powerful character in the series, strictly because of, you mentioned it, his anti-magic. But even if we talk about his anti-magic, right, we have to mention something that I think you forgot to mention. His grimoire is actually Licht's grimoire, right? The man has a 5-leaf grimoire. The man has now ascended to a point where he could use the Black Divider sword, which is just way above anything that we really have ever seen. And I think it puts you, when you're in Black Clover, right, I think what really counts is your versatility. How many different versions of magic can you counter? And Asta is one of the very few that can counter everything, because he has anti-magic, and he has it at such an elite level because of the demon that dwells within his magic, within his mana, within his grimoire. That demon, for some reason, just makes me believe that Asta's potential is through the roof, because you even saw that demon, pressing the Word Soul demon, in their little one-on-one. So I'm looking at that and I'm saying, you know what? Asta is number 3. There's not that many people that can really counter his abilities and what he can do. There are people that are more skilled at combat, but his power, the power that is within Asta right now, 5-leaf grimoire, anti-magic that can counter everything. I just feel like Asta, you can't really stop him. You really can't stop him. And even if there's a point where you're pressuring him too much, I feel like the demon within him is going to take over. And by that time, you're having another Word Soul demon level type situation or something. We're not sure to what extent, but it could be something like that potentially, or even something greater. So for that reason, Asta's number 3. I
mean, okay, so two things. You made up a bunch of good points, but 2, you forgot to mention that the more and more as the show goes on, we're seeing that Asta pretty much has all of Licht's powers, like all of his spells, pretty much all of his swords. He's able to access them. And the only limitation we're seeing so far is his development as a Magic Knight. So we can pretty much assume that as he gets stronger and stronger, he'll be able to use pretty much all of Licht's spells and any new anti-magic spells that he comes up with. So what I want to bring up is, we saw, you mentioned it before, Licht's Spirit Bomb attack, right?
Right.
I want to see the anti-magic version of that. I want to see that. I can't wait to see that. That's one thing I want to bring up. That's going to be wild. Yeah. What is it going to be? It's going to be like an area attack where he negates everyone's magic in like a 100-meter radius.
It might be
something. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be crazy. Number 2, I want to bring up. You're a madman because you put Asta above Yuno. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Asta is, yes.
Asta, like I said before, he can only use the form a couple times a day.
Hold on.
It only lasts for a couple minutes.
Hold on. Yuno
doesn't have any of those limitations.
Yuno was Asta's sidekick in that fight against the Word.
Sidekick.
He pushed.
Sidekick.
He pushed Asta
pretty much served as the sword, and Yuno was the body controlling the sword in that fight.
Yo,
Yuno does not have no limitation in terms of.
Listen, Asta was Batman.
To use the move.
Asta was Batman, and Yuno was Robin in that fight.
He only used it one more time, 2 more times.
Let's keep it above.
If it wasn't for Yuno, Asta would have just sat down and cried in the corner. Yuno had to remind Asta about the man that he was, about the Hokage that he was trying to be. Okay? I still forgot about that for a second. Yuno was like, you kidding me right now, son?
Yuno,
get up. And I was like, you know what? You're right.
Yuno gave Asta that pep talk because he realized that Asta holds the keys to the city. So we better make sure Asta could drive the boat, because if Asta can't, no one can.
Because he knows Asta's true power, and he knows that he was not existing.
He knows he knows Asta's true power.
Yeah.
He knows Asta's true power is tenfold of Yuno's. If Asta,
all right.
Let's just call it for what it is.
All right.
Let's just call it for what it is. So you guys let us know down in the comment section below who are the top 3 most powerful characters in Black Clover. If I see anything like Noelle or anything like that, I'm not even gonna bother reading it.
What about gauche?
So we will see you guys next time.
I mean, yo, wait, hold up. Last point. If gauche was there, right, his mirror magic could have potentially reverted Licht's spirit bomb attack and then reverted it back.
So I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, all right.
I don't know what. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.